5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This video is sponsored by True Gold Republic, the precious metals experts. Talk to one of their experts today about diversifying your portfolio to help assure your future financial security. Find their contact information in the description below and pinned in our first comment. James Kaufman, World News Report today. Today is June 29th, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a variety of things we're going to cover in this live. But most importantly, I want y'all to know our second live tonight is going to be on our other channel. And we're going to go over every ionosphere heater, i.e. HARP and things of this nature that we know of around the globe with Google Map photos. It's going to be absolutely epic. It's going to actually take place at, and I'll put it in the chat, you won't be able to see this, at World News Report. There's no today. And then 1. At World News Report 1, we're going to go over a globe with all the ionosphere heaters, all the weather manipulation equipment, and we're going to look at Google Maps of the equipment. James Kaufman, World News Report today, June 29, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off with all these volcanoes erupting, and there is more than a few. I am positive that no invitations went out, and I know we're going live a little bit early tonight, but I wanted everyone, I'm headed over the other channel about 10 or 10:30 when this is finished, and I actually have everything already pulled up. Hey, Justice. Roku. I got 3 or 4 of those. How are you, Miss Justice? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start out by deciding how many volcanoes are erupting around the globe, and it looks like there's quite a few. The most we've ever seen. Look. Tour. We the people. Tour. I know. I watch. So, ladies and gentlemen, just as someone offered me some land up in Michigan on the lake and a trailer, and I was looking at it. I've never been to Michigan. Sounds cold to me. Sounds cold. But with that said, let's count how many volcanoes that we have erupting. And this is not according to me. This is volcanodiscovery.denmark. The least we've ever seen erupting is 38 at one point. The most is 65 for only one day. Right? Yes, definitely will. Let's go ahead and guess, folks. I'm sure that no invitations went out. Hey, Tiffany, how are you? I'm glad you're here, Justice, because you're a wrench, and we really need more than 1 or 2 wrenches around here lately. So, don't be mean to anybody, but we definitely need some trusted people that can make sure that no shenanigans are happening while I'm trying to do my show here. We're going to start out with volcanoes for the day. It looks like there's a ton of them. Just me looking, I see a lot. I'm going to go ahead and put a count in. Look, we've got, 3. I'm going to count quietly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back up to 60 volcanoes erupting currently, and this is not according to me. This is according to volcanodiscovery.denmark. We're going to move on because we have a lot to cover here. This is the 4.0 that hit New York State today. It's really a 4.4 on the USGS map. Look how big it is, Tiff. We'll zoom in so maybe Tiffany could tell a little bit more about where this is. It looks like there's Niagara Falls. Looks like it's quite a ways away from you. And I don't know what would have caused it unless there's salt mining going down right there. I know there is right here. It's all salt mining. Definitely don't know what caused this. This is another salt mine up here. I know what caused this. Now, I've never seen the Canadian government report anything on a Friday. I guess is where we're at, right? Is it Saturday? On a Saturday. Never, ever, ever. So they must have really been impressed by this very large 4.0, which is actually going to register much, much higher on the USGS scales. We're going to start out here. I'll tell y'all what. Let me put the plates on real quick. I'll tell y'all what. My Peruvian Chilean wedge, my volcanic park that I've always been interested in with 26,000 volcanoes, is awakening. It really is. This is a 5.2. We just had a 6.1, 6.2, and it's hard to grab this other one, moving a little bit closer so we can, and a 5.3 right there. This is exactly where the 7, see that line right there? That's how I know. Right where the 7.2 was yesterday, and here are the two volcanoes that we talked about that are erupting there. Now there's 26,000 active volcanoes in this volcanic park. The coast is all owned by Chile and Peru, although Bolivia owns a portion of it, and Argentina owns none of it. They got it all taken away from them when they tried to battle Chile. Impressive, right? As far as Chile is concerned. All right, we're going to take a look at the entire globe here. This looks small to me. Maybe my eyes are getting worse. We're going to go ahead and turn them all on. Those are just 5.0s and 6.0s. That was a 6.1, I believe. I want to first go to the second largest caldera in the solar system. I showed y'all the biggest caldera yesterday. And this is, that's funny how it just disappears, the name. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but it's Xinjianj, Jane, I don't know. But we'll zoom out, and there's a swarm happening all around that. That's the biggest caldera on Earth currently. Covers a lot of Kazakhstan, Afghanistan, Turkestan, and almost all of China and Mongolia. It's a big deal, folks, a big deal. What do we also see? We see a lot of activity around New Zealand and Zealandia that's rising up out of the ocean here. We have actually two volcanoes up in Tonga, the one that got hit by the rods of God behind it, and another one in front of it right here. There's Tofu, I guess. And then there's the other one behind it that's erupting in full eruption. So red is full eruption, orange is minor eruption, yellow is awakening or activity. What do we see around Indonesia? We see a lot of magma movement around the volcanoes, and there's so many plate boundaries that just don't work out. What do the colors mean, James? Well, the red means the fault is in place. The blue means the fault is forming. The black means they think it will form in this manner, right? Big caldera right on this, and this is a fault forming. This is all black right here, so they really have no idea. We'll go over here and take a look at Japan. Look at all these volcanoes in the Pacific Ocean here. a volcanic ridge going through here, a volcanic ridge going through here, a volcanic ridge going through here. 3 new nuclear power plants here. This is going to be Fukushima. All of Fukushima has been closed off. Not only the power plant, built for $10 billion, they have almost $3 trillion in the cleanup, and they've cleaned nothing up in 14 years. They're actually trying to use the north end of the island here, so they go around it. Fukushima is not only a power plant, it's a city, it's also a province or state. So they use a highway here on the far western side, and they're using this part of the island here. Well, you would think that they would have learned their lesson, but they just got through building 3 more nuclear power plants on this island right here that are going active as we speak. And look, this is a volcanic ridge, 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 and this is the area where the most pressure on plates are. This is the North American plate, Pacific plate here, Euro-Asia plate, Indonesia plate here, and look how bad it really gets. No connection. We'll get in a little bit closer so you guys can see. Not connected here. And see the black here? Not connected here. Period. I mean, there's just no connections here. See the black, and here they don't even bother put the black in. It's just unconnected. There's more pressure on that area than any other plate boundaries in the world, according to mainstream geology. All right, we have some action on the Russian peninsula. We have quite a bit of action. That's actually 3 volcanoes, 5 volcanoes erupting. The Aleutian Islands, we have a volcano erupting, and we've had a 5.0 earthquake, and we have one that is maybe on the peninsula that's awakening. Not a lot of swarm we're seeing here, but we'll take a look at the USGS. I wanted to cover this for one of our friends in Australia here. There is a rule, and it has to do with the water depth. If you're a continent, you actually own your continental shelf as well. But there's only 7 continents according to the UN or United Nations. New Zealand's trying to make a land grab on all of the light blue that you see here, claiming that they're going to be the 8th continent. So they're actually trying to withdraw from the UN and will only rejoin if they're given this land grab of the light blue that you see here. What that represents is trillions of dollars worth of natural gas and other minerals, obviously, right? This is Herd Volcano down here in the South Australian Southern Indian Ocean. And then we actually have a chain of volcanoes over here that kind of run through. There's actually 2 right here. You can't really see them until you zoom in, but now you can. 1, 2 active, another one in minor eruption, and one on Compros erupting. All of Madagascar right now is on fire, which is a bad thing because there's several species that are only found on Madagascar. I'm going to say this again. I'm on the other channel when this is over. It won't be very long, about 10 minutes. I'm going to go over. I want to show y'all real quick what's going to happen. Every ionosphere heater, and I have all the Google Map pictures of every one of them around the globe, period. That's going to be on the backup channel, World News Report Today, and I will show you all how to get there from here. And that's going to be after this, about 10 minutes afterwards, at World News Report 1. Now, if Miss Knight is out there, I looked into our cell, and you do not appear, and I'm glad to prove it to you if you'd like me to. I don't know if you rejoined or if you did not rejoin. It was a little bit. Reunion Island is another one of these islands that has species that are only found in Madagascar and Reunion Island, which is terrible to see all this. This is all on fire. I'm about to show you all that. Well, we just saw your chat. Now, I have 4 Rokus that are big, and they don't pop up a chat box either. I bet there's some way to do it. But is yours Roku? Because mine don't. I always don't sign in. I think you have to sign in on the TV. I refuse to sign in. All right, this is the Peruvian-Chilean wedge, and this is the 5.2, and here's the 6.1 we just had. We'll actually get some detailed information on the 6.1. 6.1 earthquake. We'll jump down here. Confirmed main source USGS. 1.3 atomic bombs worth of energy released. Just offshore right there on that plate tectonic boundary. Let's see let's see everyone that covered it real quick. Compare data from other centers. 6.1, 6.0, 6.1, Germans, Europeans, Italians. The Colombian government came in at a 5.8. Australia came in at a 6.0. I knew it was going to be the French at a 5.2. The International Research Institute on Seismology came in at 6.1. All they really do, I don't even think they do anything but just put up whatever the USGS puts up. That's it. That's it. So we have some volcanic activity under all these volcanoes. Most of them are in Colombia, folks. Most of them are in Colombia. They're not in Venezuela. They're not in Peru. There are some in Ecuador as well here. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this. All the magma intrusion, all these volcanoes awakening here, well, all this PM 2.5 I'm about to show y'all is covering the U.S. And on my local news, they said, don't even get out of your car to pump gas. It's too dangerous with the heavy levels of particulates is what they called it. I knew what it was. I was about the only one. And I will show y'all all this coming from these volcanoes in Central America, which is, of course, part of North America. We're also seeing, which is never a good sign, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, nothing in Haiti. Haiti was where more people were killed from an earthquake than ever, although it wasn't anywhere near the biggest earthquake. The biggest earthquake was right here where this plate boundary meets the other one, and it created a tsunami. It was a 9.7 or 9.8. Now, it did take out over 100,000 people, but the one in Haiti took out over 300,000 people. I'm not sure if that was man-made, i.e. Clinton style, right, or what. Now, this is another place that I really, really don't like to see torn up, the Azores Islands. We have an awakening volcano, and this is all part of Portugal, believe it or not. They got really lucky. Someone told me La Palma was waking up today, but I don't see it. This is the La Palma Islands right here. This is not. These underwater volcanoes, also known as seamounds, we have to keep our eyes on. This is Portugal. Let's get out of this crowd. We got to go quick because I want to show y'all where all the weapons are around the world. This is the fault that actually formed between Turkey and Syria in 1 year. When this fault is complete, all the energy will run into the Aegean Sea. And someone today asked me, listen to how funny this is. They said, it never says that Jerusalem will be destroyed in the Bible. Watch this. I gave him 100 times. Let's see if this says it. 100 times that it will be destroyed in the Bible. Let's see. I don't know why it's not coming up now. Anyway, there's 100 times it mentioned Israel being destroyed in the Bible. Let me see if I can get it. There it is. Bible verses about destruction of Israel. 100 Bible verses. That's what I was saying. You can see it's already outlined. He argued with me. He thought he was some kind of prophet. I gave him a couple of them that mentioned specifically the destruction of Israel, all of Israel. But there's 100 verses. Since I was the moderator and the owner, I was able to send the URL. I bet he's sitting over there dumbfounded because there's about 20 people that told him he had no before I even got there and read the comment, had no business because obviously he couldn't interpret the Bible. Well, I slapped that on him 100 times. It says Israel will be destroyed after Damascus, but it will be destroyed. Period. Are we still live? If we don't go live, guys, y'all let me know because I can still see the chat even if we're not live. Look, if y'all are going to buy me a cup of coffee, I really need 1 cup of coffee, but I'd rather have it, if y'all can only buy 1 cup of coffee, on the other channel after this. The other channel is at World News Report 1, and we're going to cover all the, weather war weapons around the globe, and I've got actual Google Map pictures of everything. There's several different kinds, from squares to several different kinds, to harp, to you name it. All right, so we've gone through all of that. See if there's anything happening down here. We do have a second volcano awakening here, and this is all Murdoch Station here. It's all been taken out. These are obviously 2 pyramids here. They're going in, right? Here is another volcano erupting. They're saying this is a volcano. Boy, these look awful like pyramids. Why are they taking all this out so we can't see it? And why are they taking this out? What is under? Look at this. What is this crap? What is going on? What are they covering up? That's the real question, isn't it? They have been forced, Google Maps has been forced to cover all this up. This is all fake. Everything you see here, a lot of this is fake, believe it or not. But I believe, look at this. I believe, look as we move in what happens. What a freak show. That's Murdoch Station, right? So something not right is going on there. Something not right at all. We talked about New Zealand. We're about to bail from here. Make sure we covered it all. And we are bailing officially. Over to the USBS. We just had a 6-1 here in Peru. Came in at a 7 at 19.3 kilometers. Exactly where the 7-2 was yesterday. We also have all these aftershocks. We even have aftershocks right on top of it that came in as a 6, right? So I told y'all that the Peruvian-Chilean wedge would wake up before the West Coast wakes up. Although we had a 4-1 there. Let's see what they're measuring this as. They've downgraded to a 3-4. The USGS in Henderson, New York. Henderson, New York. This is right on top of, below, a volcano that's awakening. And we have a large swarm around Mount Hayes and Mount Spur. They've both gone off 3 full eruptions 3 times in 29 years. And actually, Anchorage, Alaska is right there. Y'all see it? That's Anchorage. Let's see if this says Anchorage on it. Air Force Base, Elman Air Force Base, which is part of Anchorage. That's Anchorage. That's Mount Spur and Mount Hayes. And this is where they say the aliens are working with the U.S. government. Pat Price was poked at the Las Vegas airport and died the next day after he remote viewed it. He was the CIA's #1 remote viewer. Couldn't they have just told him to shut up? Why do you ask him to remote view stuff if you don't want the answers? This is flanking Ashford, Washington here. It's a small quake. That's Mount Rainier. This is Mount Olympus. Olympus. There's so many of them. And this is blasting, it looks like. No, that's Amboy, Washington, right on top of Mount St. Helens. It does look like a square to me. Look at the depth, negative 1.8. So that's a very high mountain. It's not going to be to the top of it, but you're seeing magma move around in St. Helens. I hear that Glacier Peak, which is right here, and Rainier are much more worrisome to the USGS than St. Helens, although St. Helens seems to go off every 30 or 40 years like clockwork. So I don't know why. We had a big quake out in the middle of the desert here. This is all flow. This is Yellowstone right here. This is Snake River caldera here. These are the Cascadians. These are the Olympic mountain range here. This is the Sierra Nevada here. That is Lake Tahoe here. I want y'all to look. Yellowstone here. Do y'all see the magma flow? And where did it stop? Right here around Wawa Springs. Wait until y'all see how many fires have started. And I told y'all all of Wawa Springs would be on fire in this circle here by the end of the summer. Well, it's going to happen quicker than that. All right, this is the Garlock Fault, west, central, and east. This could be Sierraless, Ridgecrest, Little Lake. Let's see, Sierraless, Little Lake. Can we get a Ridgecrest? I don't think we're going to get a Ridgecrest today. It's all right. Anyway, this is where the new West Coast Fault boundary is going to actually end up. It's going to flood the valley. Most parts of the valley, all the valley is below sea level. Some parts down in the south are 22 feet below sea level. And Kim Kardashian's building her $60 million bunker 22 feet. I looked at the location and got a depth marker for it. 22 feet below sea level. I mean, is she just stupid or what? That's not a great place to build it, in my opinion. All right, we'll have a little fun. This is Mount Cobb. This is now the largest geothermal unit in the world. It used to be in Iceland until it melted when Reykjanes, or whatever you want to call it, popped off. And I will say that they picked the last guy up via helicopter right as the magma went over the platform he was standing on. I watched the whole thing in fear. There's not a lot of activity here. I want two numbers. This is the Clear Lake volcanic range, okay? This is Mount Cobb. This is Mount something. This is the Clear Lake central part of the volcanic range. This is the city of Clear Lake through here and here. If you worked here, well, first off, you'd have to deal with lots of earthquakes every day. I would work there for $450,000 a year. And today looks like a really light day. The two in red were from the last hour. So, Mike Johnson. Now, Lizard Hunter, there's something in the Bible that speaks of Seattle. There's a bridge in Seattle called the Golden Bridge. Is that right? Are you from Seattle? Because that actually splits the New Madrid. We're going to do this. I'm going to teach you what the Bible says about the two Golden Gates. The two Golden Gates. So there's a Golden Gate Bridge in Seattle just south of the Cascadia subduction zone. And then right there where you thought it would be, in San Francisco. And then right there in Seattle, there's another Golden Gate Bridge. And it talks about the catastrophe happening between the two Golden Gates. In the Bible, I'll assure you. All right, so two guesses, guys. 27 and 500 million. Mike Johnson, I'll take 500 million any day of the week, but I'll work for 450 grand. I'm going to say just 22 and 450 grand. Now, guys, when this channel hits 100,000, if they let it, they take away about 100 subscribers a day. We get about 130 new ones. I can show y'all that they take away 100 a day. People are not quitting, not 100 a day exactly every day. They just come in. I was unsubscribed to several channels that I watch. So I know that YouTube does it, right? That's what they do, especially if you're a conservative channel, which is all I watch. By conservative, I mean you're telling the truth. And you probably don't have a forehead piercing and blue hair, right? I can't wait till they move YouTube down to Texas and Google down to Texas and we get this stuff cleaned up, right? You know, they said that Missouri and A.G. Paxton didn't meet the burden of having financial or any type of it's called Article 3. And what it means is they had no damages. Well, if they would have done a little survey and gotten about 1,000 people that have been kicked off, they were making thousands of dollars a month, there's plenty of damages. All right, 31. Let's see what we got to say. 20. I think I won that one. This is the fewest I've ever seen. I'm going to take that off in case we do something else. You know, that is the fewest we've ever seen. I've seen up to 88 happen there. Just taking a look. We're about to bounce from here. This is fracking. This is all fracking out here. This is one of 4 places that the San Andreas, better known as the North American Pacific Plate, do not meet over the Salton Sea here. We've seen huge swarms of 300 and 400 earthquakes here, but for some reason, that fault will not connect. I wish it would. The Sea of Cortez, not the Gulf of California. Whoever came up with that crap must have been Newsom. Did y'all see Newsom thought he was being interviewed about being president? Watch my video, and they stuck him with, why'd you close the beaches? Why'd you arrest that guy on the paddleboard all by himself? Why did you close all the restaurants that were open air? Well, it was laughable. Anytime you go on Newsmax, don't think they're going to question you about becoming president, you goof. Someone said, I don't think he stuttered. I think he was completely taken back. Completely. This is the Sea of Cortez. It's working its way into the U.S.-Mexican border here. You can see it run through. This is Tijuana. This is San Diego. Okay? And this is L.A., and this is the biggest port in the world, followed by Houston being the second biggest. Hey, Miss Crazy. How are you doing? All right. Like I said, guys, we're having a huge live after this on our other channel at World News Report 1, and that one's going to start at 10:30, and I'm going to show y'all every weather weapon that we know about, and a picture of it on Google Maps, and some other things that I have all planned. We actually had the gentleman from Chile help me today, so that was awesome. Appreciate him. And this is that quake they've downgraded quite a bit. So we're done with the USGS. Look at the fires in the Northwest Territory, guys, and then into Alberta and Saskatchewan. Everything in red is a fire, right? Everything in red is a fire. You're about to see all the PM 2.5 actually heading south and actually heading north from the volcanoes erupting in Central America. Now, we're going to go over some fires here real quick, okay? I wanted to point out all these fires burning over here in Alabama. Contained. You know, contained. These people seem to be, this is woods too. Contained. You know, when you get up into, areas I don't like, they can't seem to contain them. 11,500 acres contained. What is this? Wawa Springs, James, the biggest shield volcano on Earth, probably in the solar system. What is a shield volcano? Well, it's a large set of volcanoes set up like contained, set up like a circular shield. This is the salt incident, 84% contained. Believe it or not, if y'all saw, this is not, yes, this is the Boulder View incident. This is the one I covered today, if y'all watched it. Look, they have it 19% contained now, 3,711 acres. Very, very close to downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Everything y'all see in yellow and red started today. And if y'all want to look around Wawa Springs, well, there's several new fires that started. And I promised y'all, this is a fire warning here, new fire, old fire from yesterday. Let's see if it's contained, 25% contained. So what we're seeing there is a fire warning, and this is a red flag warning. New fire, new fire, new fire, new fire, all today. Everything in red and white is from yesterday or earlier than that. Go over into LA. I mean, they're just setting fires left and right. They're stealing, in South Central, they're stealing, and I did a video on it, the actual fire hydrants for the brass inside of them so they can sell them to the recycling centers. This is the valley over here where Kim lives, and she's digging her grave. When you go in a little bit more, these are all the fires that are burning. There's no other place on Earth like LA. This is the big fire that everyone's talking about right here, the Post incident. They say it's 100% contained, but still burning. I can see it right there, 15,500 acres. It was headed down towards, that's Santa Monica Boulevard right there. This is the Hollywood Hills. Although, don't worry, they'll set a new fire. This is the valley. Kim lives right here near Palmdale. And this is 22 feet below sea level. Again, everything in yellow and red is a new fire from today. Everything in white and red is still burning from yesterday. But they're setting this place on fire. They must have a few firebugs. I know they arrested several of them. If you zoom out, you can see just the ones that were started today. Just today. All right, this really bothers me because this is one of my favorite areas in the world. It's the Sequoia National Forest with our sequoia trees. New fire here, another new fire. If I can grab it, I don't know if I can or not. Basin incident here, 9,549 acres. A new fire here in the valley. More new fires. Then we get into a red flag warning. Extremely hot in the valley right now. Remember, all this is below sea level. So when it floods again, it almost happened last year, almost flooded the whole valley, making the Sierra Nevada our new west coast boundary. Every geologist report I've read, which is thousands, and I can watch. Just watch. Walker Lane fault line. Used to be able to see my video, but they took it down because it gave too much information up, right? Walker Lane fault line. And I want to show y'all real quick here. If we can find something. Let's just type in wiki, because I know what wiki says and how it says it. They've even changed wiki up, though. Don't get me wrong. Look at this. The Walker Lane takes up to 25% of the boundary motion between the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate, and the other 75% taken by the San Andreas Fault, which is really the North American Pacific Plate. The Walker Lane may represent an incipient major transform fault zone, which could replace the San Andreas as the plate boundary in the future. They've actually changed all the wording here. If you read the reports, it will be the plate boundary in the future, and the valley will be flooded very, very soon. It almost happened last year, in case y'all weren't watching. Almost happened last year. See where we are here. All right, let's see if there's anything else up by DJ, Dr. Joey. I will say there's some new fires up here. This is Yellowstone. We have a new fire in Yellowstone. When they say 0.1, it's just a new fire. These are all new. This is the Snake River caldera. That's where Evel Knievel jumped his jet bike and crashed twice. New fire here. New fire up here. I believe that's Washington State. Yes, it is. An old fire up here near Glacier Peak, right? And Dr. Joey's down. There's Olympia, Olympic National Forest. There's Mount Olympic right there. And Dr. Joey is in between the Olympic Mountains and these mountains near Olympus, a little bit south of that. Actually, I've seen a picture from his kitchen window, and it's scary. It is scary, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't be living there. You must have gotten a deal on that deal, Dr. Joey. Who doesn't? I'm going to read some of this. Judy said, not a good scene. My uncle lives in South Balto. I don't even know where South Balto is, sweetie. Wish I did. I'm trying to get Miss Knight back, but she's not in my jail. I will show her. I'll do a whole live just to show her she's not in my jail. I don't know what to do. But again, at 10:30, we're going to show you all the ionosphere heaters all around the globe, and then I also have all of them with the coordinates with pictures of what they actually look like. It's going to be epic, but it's going to be on the other channel. It's going to be on World News Report 1. World News Report 1, guys. I'm just letting y'all know. I guess that's going to pretty much do it. Here we have another fire, 80% contained, 48 acres, not worth our time. This is what I wanted to show y'all. All of the volcanoes here, and actually the Sahara dust / sandstorm coming through here. The Gulf Coast states are just taking it hard, man. Taking it hard. My air quality, they told me not to even go pump gas if I don't have to, okay? This is all very thick PM 2.5. The deadliest particulate known to man. It's coming from the north. There's only 3 or 4 ways that I know it's produced. And I didn't know that a dust or sandstorm is not included in the list. It's not, of course. So, heavy industrial facilities, nuclear power plants, fires, and volcanoes are the only 4 ways it's supposed to be produced. But now we're seeing it in the sandstorm. And everyone asks me, why? How in the heck do I know? Look at these, look at this. They hit Pittsburgh hard. So everything that's a square is someone that went to airnow.gov and bought the system. When we started doing this a year or 2 ago, the system was $299. You put it outside, plugged it into your router, and you gave information to everyone on the system. Circles are federal buildings, and triangles are mobile units. Well, look at this. Look at this. This color here is the PM 2.5. Wow. Look at Washington, D.C. They turned this one off. They must not like that one. If they're gray, they're off. The circles are federal buildings. How could you have a green right there next to all of this crap? It's just another lie, right? I guess this is coming down from the fires that are up here. It's hard to tell. And then look at Detroit. There's a bad one in Detroit. It's coming out of someone's house here. Must be the high end of Detroit. 132 parts per million, whereas in 10 parts per million increases your lung cancer percentage by 36%. Same thing happening in Ann Arbor. It looks like they're hitting all the cities. Really, really strange. Really strange. Columbus, Ohio being hit super hard. And then Cincinnati, even though it's in the PM 2.5, everything's turned up green except for the people that have their own meters, right? You can see it's in the 2.5, which is the darker bands, okay? So if you're anywhere in America, you're getting more PM 2.5, the deadliest particulate known to man. In 2016, it was responsible for over 4.1 million deaths just from it. You can see they're hitting Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, any red state, right? And then look at this. So they know something here. How do I know they know something here? Well, first off, something's got to be burning. We see all the fires here. That's someone's home right there. 223 parts per million. And then I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 behind it. Mobile units. All in this area. They drive the mobile units where they think there's going to be problems so they can monitor the problems. Here's someone else's home. Getting a real reading, 170 parts per million. Again, whereas 10 parts per million is deadly for humans. And let's see, a lot of this again is coming from the fires up here in the Northwest Territory and in Alaska. You can see it coming down. And the rest of it's coming from both the volcanoes erupting in Central America, which is part of North America, and the quote-unquote dust sandstorm coming over. Period. All right, we're getting through this because at 10:30, we're going to actually switch over to the other channel, and I hope someone gives me a $5 super chat over there because they're going to try not to pay me for my, let's see, 60 videos for the month, unless I can raise $2 or something. So, anyway, this is PM 2.5. Gulf of Mexico is, remember, just 33. What a great number. Just 10 parts per million. Just 10 increase your lung cancer percentage by 36%. According to WHO and the International Association of Research on Cancer. I want to tell YouTube where I get my numbers so that nothing happens to the channel. The East Coast looks like it's been hit hard. The Central Plains here, this is all pushing across from supposedly in the dust. Someone asked me, James, how does it end up in the dust? We love you, Teresa. Save it for the next channel. The next channel is the important one. This one will be paid on. I think I'll show y'all when we get there. We have like $97.50, and they'll just throw it away if I can't make $2. It's kind of why we're going over there. Not kind of, it is, because I hate YouTube after making 60 videos. All right, I'll show y'all that that's all 60 videos makes. What I do want to show y'all is these volcanic islands here. They're actually waking up. I did a report on this one. There's 2 volcanoes here. One here. There's actually a volcano and that little one here. And I put this in action here so you can see that every day AI knows that these volcanoes are going to watch them produce more PM 2.5 because they're awakening there, not in the Gulf of California. Look at that little one. I told you, that little one. All the 3 I covered. They're all active as a lot of that goes into Arizona, into Phoenix. A lot of that goes into the valley, into California. But it's all coming from these volcanoes awakening in the Sea of Cortez. Not the Salton Sea, the Sea of Cortez. I want to get a shout out to Francisco Esparza. It's going to be, I heard that you had someone pass in your family today. Actually, one of my subscribers told me, I didn't see it on Facebook, and I just want to say God bless you. We love you. I feel like I'm part of your family. I actually told that subscriber when she's not around, we need her. We need her almost every night. We need her here to help us. And I just want to say we love you. And it's the survivors that have to actually deal with the most. And I want to give a shout out to you because you've been such a great subscriber and such a great moderator. And I don't know if I should be telling what I know here, but I did have a subscriber call me up to tell me that. Just so you'll know, everyone here loves you and is with you. God bless you. Uh-oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I must have upset her. I probably shouldn't have said anything. Probably shouldn't have said anything. I never know when to keep my big mouth shut, but she knows that we love her. That's all I can say, guys. These are the fires. Bring that PM 2.5 down here. We're going to keep going because we're going to get on to these HARP weather machines. All right, today, what do we have? 3 tornadoes. We had one in Indiana right here. Whoa, what happened? One in Illinois. Let's get a beat on that one. So in Illinois, those are the two right there, right? It's the same tornado. It just jumped the line and touched down. Same tornado. And then we had actually one in Kansas much earlier. You can see the 621, 632, same tornado. And then if we jump over here, we're going to be able to see the one in Kansas. And this is actually the second front, which I probably need to show you guys. Now, this is what they had set up for today. Based on where our tornadoes hit, Illinois and Indiana, National Weather Service did not do a great job. This is set up for tomorrow. They're looking for tornadoes all the way through the East Coast, from North Carolina to Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New York, into Maine, and it looks like into Canada here as well. And then we also have a second front coming through. This is the next front that they think there may be a tornadic problem here in Montana and North Dakota. And then that moves into the Central Plains. And this is not all bad news as long as there's no one injured in these tornadoes. This could save us from what I'm about to show you guys. We have what could be a Cat 3 or 4 hurricane coming into the Gulf. So one of these fronts very well could save us. I pray for both of y'all. God bless y'all. Mike, I don't think she's in any mood right now today, if you want the truth. She's got my number and she's always allowed to call me. I'm always here for you. You know that, girl. You do have my number, right? If you ever need me, I'm there. I'll even drive down to Dickinson. No problem for me. Ain't got nothing else better to do. All right, so we have our second named storm. We need to see if it's a tornado or not. This has a 70% chance of formation. It will form. I don't know if it's going to catch burial, but it looks like it is a hurricane. It definitely is. I have the actual National Hurricane Center map. This little thing over here has a 50% chance of formation. It looks like it's going to go across Mexico and get broken up. I'll show you all that as well. I have everything really pulled up. This is the National Hurricane Center's track, and we see it going into a Cat 3 into the Lesser Antilles here, south of Puerto Rico, south of the Dominican Republic, south of Haiti, right over Jamaica as a Cat 2. I don't know why it would be not strengthening in these much warmer waters. And we'll see what happens as it gets up in this area here. This is their official path, but I actually have all the spaghetti models also pulled up. And most of them bring it up into the Gulf, into Texas, Louisiana. It could turn around and hit Florida, Alabama, Mississippi. There is no telling. We have one, which I will say, I'm not going to lie to y'all, the TABS always seems to be right. I've been watching this stuff really close for 10 years, and it has it taking a hard left. That would be a front. I don't see any fronts that look like they're powerful enough to go that far south and push that storm. But I've always told y'all about the TABS, and it always has been right. Maybe they'll make some changes tomorrow. It's just a forecast. This is several days in advance here, okay? These forecasts were made now, right? Like now. I'm talking about now. These are the latest computer models. So take it for what it's worth. Y'all need to make sure your tanks are over half full always. Keep them half full during, well, especially when you know there's a hurricane headed for the Gulf and you live in any Gulf Coast state. Remember, don't be the tough guy that doesn't evacuate. If it looks like it's going to be any stronger than a Cat 1 or 2 hurricane, go. Move to higher ground. Get all your valuables you can and your family and dogs and pets and move to higher ground. Take it from someone that's lost 3 homes that would have died in all 3 hurricanes if we didn't listen. And you know, they said that Hurricane Katrina would only come in as a 3, but it came in as a 5. I actually told y'all it was going to come in as a 5 too. Well, that was another one, but you get the picture. We also lost one in Ike down in Clear Lake on the water. So if they're saying it could be a Cat 2 or 3, you probably need, if you're on the water or even within 5-10 blocks, your house could be completely destroyed. If you've seen what I've seen after Katrina, 2 days after Katrina, you couldn't get gas in Texas, Louisiana. The whole family was at my big house that I had here. They had they had evacuated. I took my dad. I had an extra Jeep. We tied fuel to the top of the Jeep, and we had guns on us because people would steal that fuel. People were out of fuel all over the highways, etc. We had several. You could see the fuel on top of the Jeep tied, but we had shotguns and pistols, the whole business. Pulled up on the beach. Our house we had 2 bed and breakfasts. Both of them built in 1879 and 1885, right across from the Beau Rivage off of I-110 in Biloxi. My dad was the architect for Steve Wynn Mirage Resorts on the Beau Rivage, and he bought those 2 bed and breakfasts to retire in. Well, we still own those lots, and they're still right there on the beach. We own the whole block. The other people got caught up, and we bought their lots for like $20,000. So we own the entire block from I-110, if you know where that is, at the Beau Rivage. On Google Maps, you can see my cell phone number. If you zoom in and get a street view, 713. We had, I told y'all, Landry's offer us $4.5 million for the whole block. My dad told him to go stick it. I said, whoa. We're paying taxes on this crap every year. All right, this is what we've got going on. Isn't that weird how it's doing that? This is what's building on the Yucatan Peninsula right now. Look how it's doing that. I have no idea why it's doing that. See if it does it again. It does. It goes to both storms. This should just be in 94L, but it jumps out and shows 95L too. Never seen that happen before. Must be a glitch in the system. I saw that cat twice. Uh-oh, they're making changes in the matrix, right? All right, so this is the actual spaghetti models, all taking it within the next 1, 2, 3, 4 days into the mountains here. It very well could become a tropical system or subtropical system in the Pacific, although the waters are much cooler in the Pacific than they are here. Now this is we're only being saved because of the front and the tornadoes that y'all are seeing now. The three fronts, I should say, right? The three fronts. All right, is there anything else anyone wants to see before we move on to the other channel? And I will put it out here again. Hey, DJ! Hey, Dr. Joey. Actually, Dr. Joey, I have like all the stuff that you can imagine in case something happens. At least 3 or 4 weeks worth of stuff. So I really do. It just sits in there, and I wonder if the dates are still good. But I learned a lot about, when I volunteered some time, about the dates on these foods being, well, overly ambitious. Overly ambitious. Hey, oh, good to see you. Okay, this is where we're headed, guys. It's called, all you gotta do is type in @World News Report 1. So all you have to type in, it'll be a flag with no eagle. And like I said, guys, I have all of the ionosphere heaters, and Krako's helped me with this. I hope he gets the message, because the chat will not show up on the playback. And what is that? Is that like a survival kit, Dr. Joey? We're going to look it up right now. Well, you better buy me some coffee then. I got about at least an 18th of that. If you do it now, we'll hear the big boom. I've never heard of this. Maybe I should contact them about being a brand ambassador. I'd be a good one. You did. You went big, bro. Big. Is this stuff any good? Power pouch. Ooh, blueberries. Freeze-dried blueberries look great. Butter powder. Wow. Wow. Wow, I've never heard of this, and no one's brand ambassador in them. On my 4 or 5 platforms, I do over 1 million views a month. And now my sponsor wants to, quote unquote, renegotiate. Maybe I should call Gusson Farms and see if they need any help. Salt Lake City, Utah. This is one brand I've never heard of, and they probably need a good brand ambassador to get the word out, especially if it's that good, right? Let's shop now. Price. I mean, they don't even have what he bought on here. The whole grocery store. Let's see if they have something like that. These are all very inexpensive, but they're single meal. This looks big. A pail, $49. I actually have never heard. Has anyone ever heard about this? Low-fat milk. I'd like to do some research and see if it's good stuff. Oh, wow. Strawberries. Lunch and dinner variety pail. Well, you gave them a plug. That was awesome, right? And tell them if they need someone to be a brand ambassador. James gets the word out. Did everyone see this huge filament eruption that happened this evening? They said it's going to hit Earth on the 2nd. I looked at it. I said the 3rd. Look, 270 views. 270 views. YouTube is mad at James. Huge filament eruption. I've got the actual Goddard-Iswa spiral that shows it hitting Earth on the 2nd or 3rd. I've got the filament eruption. I've got Lascaux C3 here with the CME. And I could have never imagined. That's an all-time. Regularly, that stuff gets 2,000-3,000 views. But, of course, let's see if it's not been updated. That's all I can figure out. Of course, they hate me. Yeah, it's been updated a little bit now. There's a few more views, but that's a huge filament eruption. It's inbound. It's the same exact area, and a huge CME, and even NASA and NOAA agree that it will hit Earth. Who saw that they're evacuating near Scottsdale, right near Scottsdale here? Did you hear that Iran has Lebanon and 5 other countries? Yemen, I'm trying to go over them all. Already on 7 fronts to attack Israel. And I know Israel actually bombed Lebanon's, some of their military stuff today. It's going to get ugly soon. The U.S. government just put offshore from Israel and Lebanon amphibious landers to take on U.S. citizens and whoever else wants to get on, right? Take on U.S. citizens in case war breaks out. Israel, I didn't know Israel was part of, Iran was part of NATO. This is a NATO meeting that this man is speaking in. And he said that if they invade Lebanon, all 7 countries, and he names them, are gonna. Now this one got more views than the inbound CME. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff, but it's real. It's real. I quoted him exactly. This happened on Friday. And then after he said this, and look, they're nothing to mess with. Iran has a pact with China and Russia, okay? They've been doing war games together. And Yemen's involved, and Lebanon, and even Iraq is involved. They name all their seven parties. They said that we're all going to attack. Iran's even sending troops to Lebanon right now as we speak, in case there is a ground offensive. This is dangerous stuff, right? Dangerous stuff. watch Gavin Blindsided. He thought they were going to ask him, guys, about him becoming president, and they asked him why he locked down the beaches and arrested some guy out by himself paddleboarding and wouldn't let open air restaurants. It was absolutely humorous. Newsmax started here on YouTube, right? Epic. It's hard to believe that no one's seen my huge filament eruption that's inbound. They've even done a ISWA Goddard NASA spiral with it hitting Earth. Now, NASA says the third, NOAA says the second. That's the only difference. With that said, we're going to be back at 10:30 with all of the ionosphere heaters in the world, and actually have Google Maps to show you what they look like, okay? And we're going to show you all a couple of other things. This is going to be Joe Google, does anyone on Earth get what? That we're dealing with a bunch of criminals, lizards? Please let us know. We've known that, Joe Google, since the channel started. Don't you understand that? It's an electric universe. Joe, this is the basics. You're not teaching anyone on this channel anything. They erased 14,700 of my videos that you weren't able to see because I was too far into the truth. All these people know. 14,700 videos done in 3 years covering the subject that you're talking about right there and proving the ISS is fake and everything else. So trust me, you're not teaching anyone here a thing. If you don't realize that we realize that the protons energize, let's say it like it is if you're going to say it, energize the tectonic plates and expand them. And it regularly takes about 2 weeks. I've actually done some research on some of the major flares and then the follow-up earthquakes. It takes about 2 weeks before these earthquakes start occurring. That means these are probably occurring not because of what happened yesterday, although there's a good chance. They're so built up. We haven't seen a really big earthquake in so long. Anything could pop off at any time. But Joe, everyone here, even Tiffany, right? Tiffany, give him a thumbs up. Francis knows that. Dr. Joey knows that. Seeking Truth knows that. Everyone here, all you got to do is, you don't even have to filter it by channel. Just put it in search at World News Report 1. See, everyone here knows that. If you think you're teaching, go teach your 4 or 5 subscribers, right? We knew that 10 years ago, 20 years ago. See, look at them. They're telling you. Joe Google. Francis, just type in at World News Report 1 into the YouTube search engine, and it's come up for everyone. Thanks for the lesson, Joe. Give your mom her phone back now, okay? Remember, I'm a licensed Google developer. Are you? I love it, guys. I love it. You know, look, I'm showing y'all previews of what's to come. God bless you guys. I've got to at least have 10 minutes to set up. So we'll see y'all. I wanted to make sure Miss Francisa can find the channel. No, it wasn't a question. It's CME, not SME. We love you, Joe. Welcome to the channel. Let's go to your page and see if you're real. Dun, dun, dun. Fake. Shall I let fake people stay on the channel? Do more about the channel. Wait, there is no more. I even have software running here. Should I export all of this information? You guys don't get it. I'm running scripts on the other side. I already knew it. Okay, I already knew it. Channel stats. Y'all get it now? James has got this covered. It's what I do. And Dr. Joey, thanks for the advice, but it's me, right? It's me. Now, if it was a medical question, I would call you, right? Lots of love. The more the merrier. The more trolls, the merrier. The internet isn't trustworthy. You're right. You're right. That's why we just exposed you. You were just exposed, but you know what? I'm going to let you stay anyway. That's how cool I am. Even though I saw on my other computer that you're full of bull, you get to stay. Just because I want to torture you. And I know that's just what I'll do. Now give your mom her phone back. Oh, well, the internet's not trustworthy, Catherine. Don't you understand? Welcome, Joe. Teresa. Here, Mommy. Okay, give her her phone back. You can still watch, but just make sure you have adult supervision from henceforth, okay? Make sure you have adult supervision. Give the phone back to Kamala, Joe. You got me in tears. All right, we're headed over to the other channel. I was hoping that was awesome. Come on. Will someone help Miss Francisca? Miss Francisca, were you able to find the other channel? Let me know. I'm having a good time because I was watching it on my... Guy, I have 3 computers opened up here. So whatever you think y'all are doing up there, y'all are actually working with someone that, well, has an heavy education, may I add. Like I have, a doctorate in jurisprudence and in business management. Management. So, good luck. God bless. We'll see you on the other channel. Joe, hopefully you join us. We love you anyway, Joe. We see. Yes, if you can post it, DJ, since you're a wrench, post it, please. Please. I want Francisca to be able to find it. If she can't, I'm going to start to slowly bail, and we're going to go over there. I'm going to go slow so everybody gets it. If you type at World News Report 1 in, you will get it. Joe, I wasn't trying to come down on you too hard. Like Dr. Joy said, just let Kamala handle the phone and everything will be fine. Right? Uh-oh. All right. Well, God bless you guys. We'll Is Francisca still around? It works either way. Thank you, Dr. Joy. I'm going to let this play for just a second. This is called an SPX1. There's probably an SPX 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6 now. This is 5 and 6G here. This is U.S. government. They say there's one of them. I know of 13 of them. Now, my information's a little old, I'm sure, but they say there's one of them. This is a mobile, self-propelled ionosphere heater. And, well, they're all around the globe right now. But this is, new tech. There's probably an SPX2, SPX3, SPX4, etc. We'll actually take a look into that when we go live on the other channel. Now, somebody remember, I need a $5 super chat on the other channel, and I will show y'all, just so YouTube doesn't steal my money. My $97.40. God bless you guys. We'll see y'all soon. Lots of love out there. These are very dangerous. Good to see you, Annette. Is it battery? I'm sure it is. I love you guys. Dr. Joy, you got me in stitches over that Kamala joke. He named his own channel. It was put up this last week. I mean, help. God bless you guys. We'll be back. I want to be there in 7 minutes, so let's get going. It was epic. God bless. Topaz, I told y'all about the rock that passed last night 2 weeks before anyone even noticed it. As soon as JPL, my phone went bring. As soon as JPL said anything. God bless each and every one of you guys. You know how much I love y'all. It's the only reason I do this, for pennies on the dollar. Imagine, would any of you guys work 12, 15 hours a day? And I'll show y'all the other channel what I'm talking about. We'll see you soon. God bless. Always remember, please share, please subscribe, and always remember that anything's possible in Bizarro World. Please share this on Facebook and Twitter if you can, and anywhere else that you can, as far as our volcano and earthquake report. Thank y'all for helping if you can. Thank y'all.